What if I told you that every time you eat a chicken nugget, you're technically munching on a dinosaur? Sounds like a joke, right? But scientifically speaking, it's absolutely true. Chickens aren't just related to dinosaurs, they are dinosaurs. Not metaphorically, not in a poetic way, literally. Modern birds, including chickens, are the direct descendants of a group of dinosaurs called theropods, the same family that includes some of the most terrifying predators of the prehistoric world, like velociraptors and Tyrannosaurus rex. So how do we know this? It starts with the science of cladistics, a system biologists use to classify living things based on shared ancestry. Rather than organizing animals by how they look or behave, cladistics maps out evolutionary branches, like a massive family tree. And when scientists mapped out the evolutionary tree of dinosaurs, they found something shocking. Birds didn't just evolve after the dinosaurs, they evolved from them. Specifically from small, two-legged theropods during the Jurassic period. These weren't your average reptiles. Many of these theropods had traits we once thought belonged only to birds. Hollow bones, for example. Not just to make flight easier, but because it's a feature that runs deep in their family line. Fossils have also revealed feather impressions on many of these creatures. That's right, feathers didn't start with birds. Some of the fiercest little dinosaurs, like Velociraptor, were already wearing a coat of feathers long before the first true bird ever took flight. Over millions of years, certain theropods shrank in size, developed more refined feathers, and their limbs evolved into wings. Their tails shortened, their snouts became beaks, and their claws transformed into more delicate structures for perching or picking at seeds. But their bones, their joints, their DNA, much of it still whispered stories from the age of the dinosaurs. So, when the asteroid hit Earth around 66 million years ago and wiped out nearly all non-avian dinosaurs, a few small, feathered survivors managed to hang on. They adapted, thrived, and gave rise to every bird species we see today, from pigeons to parrots, and yes, to your backyard chicken. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Genetically, chickens and T.rex aren't as distant as you might think. In fact, when scientists managed to extract proteins from a fossilized T.rex thigh bone in 2007, the closest living match wasn't a crocodile or a lizard, it was a chicken. That's how strong the genetic and structural link is. So when you hear someone say, birds are dinosaurs, that's not a metaphor, it's a scientific fact. Chickens aren't just dinosaur descendants. They are living, breathing members of the dinosaur lineage. The only difference is, instead of stalking the Cretaceous forests, they now peck at corn and cluck in your backyard coop.